Hello and welcome back to the Holistic Hatha Yoga Podcast. I'm your host Kelsey and I am here to guide you through all things Hatha Yoga. Um, how are you today? Check in with yourself, check in with your body, see where you feel good, see where you feel not so great. Are you breathing deeply, slowly, fast, shallow? Just check in with your body. And once you do, just take a big, conscious, deep breath. It's a nice deep breath in, down through the belly, and out. Letting the air leave the top of the lungs first and exhale down through to the belly. Big breath. And then do another big breath in. Let that belly button come out when you inhale. Fill from the bottom of the lungs all the way up through the chest. Let the collarbones rise. Take a deep breath in. And then when you exhale, let it come out of the mouth in a sigh. All right. Hello. Welcome to this week's podcast. Today, I wanted to dive into some fun practices that are easily accessible from home. I wanted to talk about the bandhas because I don't see this talked about enough, and so I figured let's go. So the bandhas are essentially locks or energy centers, energy locks that we can create and hold within our body that help to move your energy in an upward facing or an upward motion, upward facing, not facing, I guess, but just a upward motion. So through our spinal column, we have our energy channel, and it rises and falls. And there's three channels that ride through the spinal cord, and that is the Ida, the Pingala, and the Shushuma. So in each of these are different kind of male and female energies, and in one channel things are moving, energy is moving down, and other channel it is moving up. And so we ultimately want to create a flow where it's going up and down, but then also creating this upward momentum together as they move up through the body. So when we're moving the energy through our spinal column, through our chakras, whatever you want to call them, we are trying to move that energy upwards. And so to do this, we need to make sure that we are not having energy leakages. And through using these bandhas, we can stop the energy leakages. So what are the bandhas? So when we are doing pranayamas or deep breathing exercises of various types, we end up using these bandhas. So the first bandha that we are going to talk about is the root bandha. And so this is at the very base of our spine or at our energy center. And for a female, this is the space essentially between your vagina and your anus. And for the males, it is essentially the same thing between your, essentially, I guess, your testicles or your balls and your anus. So that perineum area. So, sorry to get so anatomical there on you. But essentially it's that area that you can feel, and it is a muscle there that you can kind of pull together, and almost like clenching and pulling in of that lower pelvic floor area. So that is the first energy lock. For women, this is like a Kegel, more or less, also, only a little bit extra hold, I suppose. So in that energy lock, we are locking from the root chakra. The root chakra is where we find our security. It is our base. It is our foundation. It is tied to our survival. And so it is important to keep good root chakra health so that we can flourish in literally any and all areas of our lives. If we do not have a strong root chakra, we can't have a strong foundation. And if we don't have a strong foundation, we're typically working out of fear of in a survival mode. So we do not want to do that. So it is very important to exercise your groundedness, exercise your connection, and exercise your root chakra in a way that it stays healthy and strong. So this root bandha is the very first one that we can lock to help gain energy and sustain energy in the root chakra. So the next one is essentially it's somewhere in like the solar plexus area. So it's below the heart, kind of in the abdomen. And this bandha we can lock essentially by when you were a kid, you probably did this without knowing it. Maybe, I don't know. I guess I was a weird kid. But anyway, so this is essentially like when you pull in the abs and kind of suck in air through your lungs, like, and make your stomach kind of go concave, go inwards towards the spine, and then kind of locking with the abdomen there. And so essentially it's like sucking in as much air as you can and then pulling that back and pulling the abs back towards the spine. And so in this lock, we are again kind of moving that energy from the base chakra upwards. And then we are also locking here, which then generates and helps move that momentum from this area upwards even higher. So that is the central bandha, the second one. And then moving upwards from there, the third bandha is in our throat. So this is created by essentially like closing off the throat, tucking the chin down to the chest, and like kind of pulling your throat together in a way that it's almost like in ujjayi breath when we're making that hissing noise. So essentially, if you were to breathe through this breath, through this lock, you actually can't breathe through this lock. Never mind. So this, when we do have this lock engaged, like we cannot pass air out or in, and essentially this is great for our throat chakra health, and then again moving that energy upwards towards the third eye and the crown chakra. And so we use these all three bandhas. You can use them separately and you can also use them together. So when we practice Kapalabhati, or a breath of fire, we use bandha locks at the very end of our practice, or at the end of our 3 rounds. And that's a super cleansing way of getting new, fresh energy moving through your system, and then also keeping that energy in our system, getting rid of any energy leakages, and any energy that we are expelling is moving upwards in a upward spiral, which is the goal here. So yeah, you can use them either separately or all together and when we use them all 3 together at once, we kind of call it like zipping up, because it does very much feel like you're like zipping up from the base all the way up through the neck. It's a really great exercise for getting rid of anxiety, stress, for depression. It's a really lovely practice for depression because I feel like it brings a whole new level of awareness and awakeness to your body that sometimes can be lost when you are depressed. And so, and no judgment whatsoever. We've all been there, or at least most of us have, And so when you're stuck in that like brain fog and sluggishness and tiredness and just blah, 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 not wanting to do anything, this can be a really, really great practice to like rejuvenate, refresh, bring a whole new like livelihood to you in a matter of minutes. Literally 2 minutes of this practice could really change your entire day and your entire energy. And so, and you can do it from your bed. Like you don't even have to like get up and go and do anything. You can literally sit up in your bed and do this practice. So, yeah, so I really highly recommend Kapalabhati for depression or things of that nature. And ultimately, all of these tools are nothing if we don't use them. They can't help if we don't do it. It's very much like cleaning of your house. Like if you don't wipe your countertops, they will get sticky and gross eventually. Not at first, but like eventually if you don't use the dish rag and the soap to wash it up, it will get gross and sticky and nasty. And we have to look at our body like that, like if we do not do that daily cleanup or that daily maintenance with the tools that we have at our disposal, then things get sticky, things get stagnant, we start to welcome in disease and a lower immune system and more sicknesses. And it's really just a snowball effect from there. And so, using these practices when we can, how we can, really, really help keep us at a level of health that gives us the best quality of life that we can have. And I think ultimately that's all any of us are trying to do here is have a great quality of life, and you can have all the money in the world, but if you're uncomfortable in your body 24/7 because you're not taking care of yourself, it's not going to help. So I do believe that first and foremost, we have to take our spiritual hygiene and our human body hygiene. And by body hygiene, I even mean like our emotions, our thoughts, our exercises, how we move throughout the day, what we do throughout the day, what we consume throughout the day, what we eat, what we drink, all of the things. I've had some friends who've had some wild health issues, but they're not that wild when you look at their diet. And I'm like, well, that probably wouldn't happen if you were drinking proper amounts of water in your day. Literally, some of these things come down to that simple. To that simple. Um, and so, yeah, ultimately, just do what you can for free in your own home. Learn what you need to learn in order to maintain your health, to live holistically, and to really just be your own best caretaker. That's, I think, the best way that we can look at our body. Like we are a soul and our body is our vessel, and we need to take care of that vessel while we're here. And so I think ultimately that's what we're doing here in all of these practices, is making sure we have a clean and clear vessel for whatever it is our dharma and our life path, our life journey needs us to do. Um, as I was thinking about drinking enough water, if this is a very simple tip, simple tip, hydration tip number one. Um, Drink enough water every day. What is enough water? Enough water for your body is your weight So if you're 200 pounds, divide your weight by 2. So 200 divided by 2 is 100. And then put ounces on that. So for a 200-pound human, they need to drink approximately 100 ounces of water per day to maintain a positive hydrational, whatever you want to call it, health. Now, we don't drink all of our water. That is true. We do consume some of our water. So if you're eating a salad or vegetables and such throughout the day, there is some water content there. However, I always like to be safe rather than sorry. So I will drink enough herbal teas and or just plain water or liquid IV, like whatever your healthy drink of choice may be. But just making sure you get those ounces in because our water intake also is huge for our body and for our lymph nodes. Our lymph nodes and our lymph system can only work if we have enough water in our body, and that is our immune center, really. That's where we create a lot of our immunity, and that's our first line of defense when anything foreign comes into our body that we need to eradicate. So again, health does not need to be difficult by any means. It's actually really, 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 really simple. And if we can just take one small step and bring one thing into our day, into our week, into our life, um, I think we're moving in the right direction. You know, small progress is still progress. And so, yeah. So back to the bandhas. It was a very long side quest there. But so back to the bandhas. We use this, like I said, in Kapalbhati. I believe there is a Kapalbhati video on my YouTube channel, so you can go and watch that. It might also be listed under Breath of Fire, and or under Ultimate Stress Relieving Practice, because again, I do feel like this is one of those. And then also, if you want a more detailed version of this, and if you want to dive into some of the most powerful pranayama practices that I can teach you in under an hour, then I highly, highly encourage you to go to my website and purchase my 1 hour Quiet the Noise Masterclass. I don't even think it's 1 full hour. I think it might be 45 minutes, but maybe it's a full hour. Anyway, in that, we go over Kapalbhati in deep detail, and I also teach you the bandhas in deep detail, and it's a video as well, so you can watch me do this and explain it, and you can see it done in real time or close to real time. And I just find that to be really, really helpful for people, no matter what they might be facing in their lives. So we do go over a couple other really powerful breathing practices in that 1 hour. And again, once you purchase it, you can watch it as many times as you'd like, so that you can really ingrain these practices into your toolbox, really, just so that you know how to do them. Any questions, you can watch it again. You can always ask me. Feel free to reach out on Instagram. I'm at Holistic Hatha Yoga. But yeah, I mean, this class is amazing, and I'm not trying to toot my own horn here, but I absolutely love it, and I'm really glad that it's there for you guys. So that is $25. It is buy it one time, watch it as many times as you want. And yeah, it was amazing doing it. I remember the rest of that day, I was literally on cloud nine. After just doing those practices, I was just literally the highest motherfucker out there. I was just like, oh my God, I felt so good. So good. So that's my own gentle reminder that I need to do my breathing practices when I need to, and also before I need to, because a lot of times, just like with thirst, by the time you're thirsty, you're already dehydrated. So by the time you're getting the cues that, hey, I should drink water, it's already not too late, but it's already going downhill, you know? And so I like to remember that with with our health, with breathing practices, with meditation. We might feel really great and be like, "Oh, there's nothing wrong. Life is fine. Like I'm all good. I don't need my breathing practices. I'm not feeling overly stressed or I'm not feeling, overwhelmed or depressed or whatever. Like I feel good." But eventually, if you're not taking care of yourself in those ways, you will come to it. And suddenly you'll be like, "Oh, I feel so dull. I feel so blah. Whatever. Like, why do I feel so shitty in life? Why am I so dull right now?" And then you're like, "Oh yeah, because I haven't been doing my practices and now my shit's all fucked up. And I need to start doing my practices again so my shit's not all fucked up, and I feel better." And then so you do your practices again, you feel great. And that's the tricky part is you feel great again. And then you want to just kind of get lazy and not do the practices. Cause you're like, but it worked. I feel great. And it's like, no, maintenance is key, friend. Maintenance is motherfucking key. You have to do the maintenance. So even when you feel great, taking those 5 minutes to do some breathing, another 5 or 10 minutes to do some meditation, and keep your shit on lock, you know? Keep it in good shape. It's kind of like a car, you gotta keep the oil in it. You gotta keep rotating your tires and getting brake pads and shit, because if you just do nothing, things will suddenly start to fall apart eventually. So you've got to do the maintenance. Um, so yeah. I hope I hope this episode has been fun for you. I hope you learned something about the bandhas. Um, they are extremely powerful when you bring them into practice, and it really does make a difference when we are using these versus when we are not paying attention to our energetic health. So, yeah, give it a shot yourself. If you feel so called, go over to holistichealthyyoga.com, go to the yoga courses, and there you will find Quiet the Noise. That's the 1 hour masterclass. The only other option on that page is Foundations of Hatha Yoga. So if you feel called to dive right in and learn all the things Hatha Yoga, it is 12 weeks. It's one video a week, very not intensive, but it is very, very thorough. I don't want to say intense because I don't want to make you scared, but it's a very thorough course and teaches you all of the core things you need to know about Hatha Yoga in order to really practice it in your life, in order for it to make a difference in your life, and in order for it to help you the most. So, if you feel so called, you can join that as well. That is open and that is do at your own pace as well. So you have access to me during that course. If you have any questions or anything, feel free to ask them. And then, yes, otherwise it is do at your own pace. And then, yeah, but if you're just looking for that quick win, then, jump on over to the Quiet the Noise Masterclass. It is 1 hour. It is amazing. Clear your schedule, create a 1 hour peaceful time on Saturday or Sunday or whatever day or evening you can or want to, and learn these practices for yourself because it will change your life. I promise you that. So, with that, what else do I have to tell you? Oh, there are some new meditations on my website as well. So if you do mosey on over to holistichealthyyoga.com, I have some new guided meditations. So my other meditations on there are mantras. They are all Sanskrit mantras, and they are for your meditation practice to enhance your practice. Um, The new ones that I recently released are more traditional guided meditations where I am talking you through the entire meditation. And so I have two of those right now. One of them is 10 minutes long and it's a morning grounding meditation. That one's perfect for if you just want 10 minutes in the morning of just turn something on. I'll lead you through a lovely morning meditation. And when it is done, you can go about your day. The other one is geared for stress and anxiety, and that one is a 15-minute long meditation, and you can do that whenever you'd like. So those are also over on my website. Again, it's purchased once, and you keep the download file forever and can use them whenever you'd like. So with that, my friends, one light, one love, and I hope you have a lovely, lovely week and I'll see you next week. Bye. Om Loka Samista Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om